Let's say you love somebody very, very much who's suffering from alcoholism, addiction, maybe a gambling addiction, whatever it is in their life, and you really want to help them, and you're coming to realize that you're powerless and you cannot help them. It's best if they seek help themselves, right? So then you take instruction from people like me or a therapist or somebody who has experience in this, and you are willing to do whatever they suggest, right? You understand the concept and you're willing to go along with that. Now, there's another kind of person, and that person might be someone who desperately is trying to help someone and who realizes what's going on, who understands the harm, who understands they're powerless, and yet they won't leave it alone. They can't leave. They can't give up. They want to constantly try to figure it out. They want to somehow convince this person to quit. If you love me enough, you'll quit, or whatever that is. They are compelled to stay in a situation they know is terrible and will not get better. And they want to know why. Why can't I leave? Why is it so difficult for me to get out of here when I know this is a dead end? And it's very simple. Simple to explain, difficult to deal with. But the person who is doing that, who absolutely knows that this person doesn't even want to get well yet, but keeps sticking around for the other shoe to drop, keeps staying to see just how bad it's going to get, right? If something happens, they'll know they should leave or kick them out or whatever, right? They know this is over. What is happening there is the person is not just codependent, they're addicted. They're addicted to the other person, and they're addicted to the drama. So, I was talking to someone the other day and they said to me, why can't I leave? Why can't I just go? I mean, what am I waiting for? And I said, I don't know. What are you waiting for? They're waiting for something to justify them leaving. And yet, they can't quite give it up. They can't quite let it go. They're addicted to the person. They're addicted to that drama. So asking a person to just give up that is like asking an alcoholic addict, can you believe this? I'm doing this outside and I hear a leaf blower. At least it's not a snow blower, huh? I hope you all can still hear me. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll talk really loud. So I want you to have some compassion for the person, the alcoholic addict who can't quit. Because just like you're going, why can't I leave? Why am I not done? Why is this not enough? What's wrong with me? Why do I keep staying? It's the same with them, right? Why can't I quit? Why can't I put this down? Why can't I quit using for my family? It's the same problem. It's the same thing. It's an addiction, right? So it's easy to say, okay, you know what they need to do? They need to quit. They need to quit using. They need to go to meetings. They need to start eating well. They need to get a job, right? Gosh, I've got this sun right in my face. So this is what they need to do. You don't know what they need to do, quite honestly. You're as addicted as they are, right? If you get the suggestion to turn this over to God, to let this go, to go to Al-Anon. See, you want them to get well and you think they should go to meetings, but you won't go to meetings. You're too busy. You ask for help, but you won't go get the help, just like an alcoholic addict. It's the same thing. You think that you know what's best for them. If they would do A, B, C, and D, then everything would be perfect. That's not the way this works. Just exactly the reason that they're pissing you off, because they won't do anything, you won't do anything. You've got to take some action. You have to go to Al-Anon. You have to ask for some help. Get a sponsor. Do the steps. Interestingly enough, I started this codependency boot camp, and I did it kind of to see how this was going to go. And, you know, we got to the fourth step and it kind of went silent on me. You know what I mean? Everybody's really busy. Nobody has time to do it. But yet you want your loved ones to go and do this stuff. So have some compassion, you know, when they're faced with the fourth step. Well, you know what? I'm feeling a little better. I don't think I need to do that. It's the same as us. You know, who wants to do some self-searching, self-sacrificing? You know? But the very thing you're asking them to do, why don't you try to do it? Why don't you see if you can do it? You know, you want them to look after themselves. Why don't you look after yourself? Why don't you go to Al-Anon? Why don't you get a therapist? All the things you want them to do. You want them to eat right? Go to bed on time. You do that. Everything you want them to do, you do that. Have some compassion. If you're addicted to someone, it's horrible. The feeling is like a drug withdrawal. A lot of you text me and call me and say, oh my God, I feel absolutely desperate, right? It's this, oh my God, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you're sick, you're driven, right? It's just horrible. That's addiction. That's the difference. There's a lot of people that I talk to and I give them suggestions and they say, oh, okay, we're gonna do that. That sounds like a good idea. We'll give him some ultimatums. We're gonna tell him he does this or he's gotta leave the house. She's gotta do this, she's gotta stay in treatment, or we're not gonna help anymore. And they're like, okay, we're good with that. We just didn't know. There's one thing not to know, and there's another thing not to do it. So you really need to think about that. Where are you on the spectrum of codependency? We talk about the spectrum of alcoholism. How about the spectrum of codependency? How sick are you? Not how sick they are. Whenever I help someone, I get contacted a lot, right? I'm not there to help them fix their loved one. I'm there to help them. How can you live with life on life's terms? How can you deal with whatever's going to happen? That's what we need to look at today. Whether you're the alcoholic or the codependent, the eyes have to. You have to look at after your own illness. That's all there is to it. You know what I mean? And it's easy just to say what the alcoholic and addict can do. But are you ready to do that yourself? Have you done what you needed to do? Have you taken directions? Are you even taking directions? Or are you deciding you're going to figure this out on yourself, on your own? You need a higher power. Everybody needs a higher power. Love you. Bye.